Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dave.
Welcome back to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Oh, the first time we did that in the pre-show, you sounded great. This time, the voice just went too high. The microphone can't handle the awesomeness.
We'll try it again. Podcast.
Good, very good, very good.
Okay.
Kyla, you can always pitch in with yours if you want. You can always throw in there.
I just leave it to Jen when she's here.
That is Jen. That is Kyla, and I am Dave. And welcome to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. We got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
Of course. Jen just hadn't gotten back from her celebrity cruise. It's really just a regular cruise, but she is the celebrity. So any cruise she's on becomes a celebrity cruise. Kyla, of course, got back from Disney World a week or two ago. We touched on that last week in our princess discussion, but we're going to talk about the multi-pass and the single pass and all that good stuff and all those changes. Yeah. We'll talk about that today because both of you kind of experienced some of that. So we'll get to that. But first, Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Oh, I get to ride this all week. I was still in Disney as of Sunday. So that is how I Disneyed this week.
Nice. Okay, so highlights of the trip for your Disney trip, and I know we'll get to some of that in our multiple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the passes and stuff.
Right.
As always, it was a highlight doing Food and Wine Festival because that is, I mean, basically,
of course, my favorite festival.
Anytime you're there, it's amazing. So it's so much fun. Also introducing Brady to Tiana's for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, well, it
was working.
We'll get to that. There was
right.
It almost didn't. We got a notification at I think 8:30 a.m. We'd had a one of the multi-passes for it, and at 8:30 a.m. I get the notification like as we're walking out the door of the hotel. There has been a change made to your Tiana's pass. I'm like, uh-oh. And it's like one of those dreaded, like, use it for any tier 1 attraction. I'm like, oh. Down and there
was the park open? Like, how did it was go down that
early entry? Like we were still in early entry, or maybe just after early entry. So of course, I walked up and I was like, "Hey guys, like, is this an all day thing? Like, what's going on?" And they said, "No, it's not all day, but don't come back until after 12 p.m." Basically.
Oh wow.
I should also say another highlight was I did go bid my adieus to Tom Sawyer Island, and I said bonjour to the Country Bears.
Yes.
The new Country Bears.
Yes. How'd you like the new Country Bears?
I am going to admit to being pleasantly surprised. I was not hopeful.
Right. Well, because the old Country Bears is deep in our hearts, and we love the old Country Bears.
Yeah,
the old
I was
jokes
like,
and everything, and so it's.
I was like, listen, all I'm gonna say is there are some key points that I need to be here and I need to hit for me to be okay with this. And first of all, it did make my heart happy to look around and see a freaking full theater. Like I walked in and it was jammed in the lobby. I'm like, holy moly. And we like walked in like toward, how it's like 2 minutes to showtime or whatever. Right. Like we just happened to like get in there at that point. Get it, like sit down in the seats. I'm like, packed house. Okay, great. Immediately noticed that the animatronics up on the wall do not click any longer. I can actually hear their voices and they are moving smoothly again. I'm like, oh, okay. Like we're off to a good start. And I loved the nods to the original. Like they still had the little
Good.
Feel like the baby bear, like
beep, beep.
I thought it was really cute too.
So cute. And the one on the left, Kyla, that was like that. It was the
Jen, real quick.
Got a kick out of it.
What does
nods too?
What sound does the baby bear make? Real quick, can you do that again?
Beep beep.
And you have to do the motion.
For anybody that listens to the show through the entire end with Katrina singing, you'll hear Jenn go beep beep from a Country Bears conversation like 200 episodes ago. And so there's Katrina with her lovely voice. You'll find the podcast here, there, da, da. May all your wishes come true. Beep beep.
It's still there. It's still there. And Big Al still makes his grand entrance.
Is there still blood on the saddle?
There is not. And I was honestly, I was like, all we needed was like one line of it. Like that would have made me very happy. But I will just say enough nods that I'm like, okay.
Okay, good.
Like we're okay.
Right.
You know what I'm upset about though?
What?
Frank thinks the song that the three girls sang was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Turn me on, turn me down.
Turn me down. It was
and they took
that
out.
They took it out. I know.
So inappropriate and hilarious.
So I'll say Disney's probably steering away from anything having to do with the words "turn me on." It's probably not what they're looking for at this point. Just in a new world order that we're in.
Don't worry, I
Kyla.
probably have video of it somewhere.
Kyla, how did you Disney this week?
Let's see. I wasn't in Disney, unfortunately, but I booked Disney. I booked Saratoga Springs. So
nice.
I love this family. They always ask for Saratoga Springs, 1 bedroom, preferred view. And
yes,
I love those clients that are like, we want this category, this.
They know what they want.
Yeah, they know exactly what they want. And I love it because Saratoga is so like
unique. Love Saratoga.
Like, right. And you don't quote it for everybody. You just you know, it's very like unique in that way. So I love that they love it and it makes me laugh and I'm happy to work with them again.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Great.
Well, Kyla has this somehow or another idea in my head that I just hate Pocahontas. It's not a movie I care for that much, but she's like, we're messaging this week and she's like, your hatred for Pocahontas and Hunchback and whatever is just off the chart. And I'm like, I don't hate that much, but to prove it, if you look behind me here, there is a series of movies. These are Disney films, and there are 61 in the animated canon. I have 53 of them, and I'm like, I somehow have to get the rest of them. I have to get the rest of them on Blu-ray. So I went on last night to Amazon and I found Pocahontas it's a set of Pocahontas and Pocahontas 2, whatever movie that is.
I didn't even remember they made Pocahontas 2.
There is a sequel. Yes. I will never watch it, but I ordered Pocahontas on Blu-ray. So now it's coming to the home. It will be set among my Disney films here as it will be added in. I already have Hunchback, Kyla, by the way. So now the movies that Kyla thinks I hate so much, they will be a part of my collection. I don't know that I'll watch it. Probably will not watch it. And may not even unwrap it, but at least I will have it on the shelf as part of the ongoing Disney film collection that I have. So
does she get with the guy in Pocahontas too? Because that's why I don't know.
Like the first one. Or John Smith.
No, John Smith.
Well, and I kind of feel like she should have been with John Smith at the end of book because it was so historically incorrect.
Yes,
you can't even be like, well, she never ended up with a real John Smith in real life.
Well, no, she actually did
because she died at 16 or whatever.
There's also that
in real life, but also Virginia, not Plymouth.
It's close enough.
Whatever.
Kyla messaged me to panic. Did I say Virginia or Plymouth Rock? Where was that set? I don't remember.
Well, to be fair, initially the initial settlers were in Plymouth, and then it's just that future settlers also came to Virginia. So it's fine. Like, it's fine.
It's fine. It's like a generic overview of that people and landings.
Right. Well, there you go. So let's get to the news. I got the glasses on because I'm going to read for the computer. Let's go to some news. All right, first things first, we got to talk about the park down the street. Kyla, you can just tune out for this because you don't care anything about Harry Potter, but they have released information about Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry, or Battle at the Ministry. Of course, you walk in to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and you'll be walking into 1920s Paris, and you will take the Floo Network, the Metro Flute Network, to end up in 1990s Britain for the Ministry of Magic. For those uninitiated, like Jenn, the Floo Network. It's a
Floo Network.
I know. I'm talking to Kyla here. I'm letting her know.
Making me feel better.
The wizards will toss it into a fireplace, and that fireplace will suddenly become a magical portal using this Floo powder, and they will be able to walk in and walk out of any fireplace that's connected to the network. The Ministry of Magic, that's how everybody gets to work, for the most part, is they use the Floo Network. So there's, in the books and in the movies, there's a series of fireplaces all along the walls that people are walking out of using Floo powder. So
idea. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll enter a portal. I don't imagine there'll be too much flames. I don't think anybody's gonna have powder to throw down or whatever. I think it'll just be magic. Whatever. You walk
Awkward.
through. And there's gonna be an incredibly beautiful atrium into the Ministry of Magic. They'll have great statues going on and everything. The ride itself is called Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, where you'll walk through and you'll see the previous ministers of magic on the wall there, the paintings. There is Harry and Ron and Neville, I believe, in Auror training, which Neville never became an Auror, from what I understand. Because he went to Hogwarts and became the professor of herbology, living above one of the stores in Hogsmeade. But anyway, I digress. So there is that, and then of course you'll see some. You're also entering during the trial of Dolores Umbridge, which, if you read book 5 and book 7, nice things do not happen to Dolores Umbridge. Dolores Umbridge is in the movies played by Imelda Stanton, and she's reprising her role in this. One of the probably worse than Voldemort. She is such an evil character. People hate her so much. Her character is so just vile. In the movies, she's terrible. In the book, she's even worse. And so, she gets caught in book 7 doing some horrible things. And so this is the trial. But apparently, you will be boarding a magical lift. Kyla, that's an elevator in Britain. And
I know. I like London. I love London. I know that.
You'll be zipping around through during the trial, and of course Dolores Umbridge, and you will do battle and whatever. So that's the Battle of the Ministry. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like it's going to be like the Harry Potter Hogwarts ride, where you're kind of in the bench seats and they kind of move around. I'm guessing some of that. I don't know. Of course, that opens in 2025 as part of Epic Universe, which we're waiting on opening dates. We're just waiting. I don't know. Jen, when is it going to open? Do you know?
I don't know.
Are you ready to?
I mean, if I were going to guess, I mean, I could throw it on a guess, but it would just literally be a guess. I don't know anything.
Right.
I would like.
I want to say spring, but at the same time, I feel like they would have already announced that. I feel like they would have already said spring. So
I'm saying summer.
Memorial Day weekend.
No,
Memorial Day weekend?
No, I'm not even calling that. I'm calling later summer. Yeah. I don't think it'll be ready for Memorial Day.
I'm gonna say March.
That's well, it would make sense because the two hotels, the Terra Nova, Stella Nova, Luna, whatever they're called, those two hotels are opening in February. And so, like, you can already book those for people like in February.
Yeah, and Helios is opening.
I don't think I did not hear a Helios opening.
No, maybe not. No, they just announced more about Helios.
Helios is the third hotel that will be there at Epic, and now she'll have a walkway into Epic Universe from Helios, the Helios Grand Hotel. And there's a lot of things going on with Epic right now. We may devote, once we maybe know a little bit more, we'll devote a whole episode to all the lands and all the stuff coming. Right. I do know there will be 11 rides. 6 of those will be roller coasters in the park. The park is about the size of the Magic Kingdom at about 110 acres, I believe. But the whole land itself, with the park and the hotels and all that development, is 750 acres. So basically over twice the size of Epcot. So they have room to grow. They do have room to grow and whatever. But it's still like 2 miles down the road from the regular parks, which is a lot of... I mean, if you're in between, you can probably name your place to Universal going, you know what, I'll sell you my land in between for a lot of money.
100%.
Oh, you know what Disney should do? They should go in and buy that land and then be like, we have your land. You have our Marvel characters. Let's say we make a trade and just, straight up. So where's that?
Crazy.
Disneyland. I was so excited when I read this that Luisa and Isabella from Encanto are meeting and greeting with guests with Mirabelle, which is my kid loves Luisa, loves the Surface Pressure song from Encanto, and of course at Disneyland. It's not Disney World, it's Disneyland. Maybe it'll come to Disney World. I don't know, but it's always
with the new Encanto theme, it possibly could be if we get character meet and greet.
That's right.
I could see that character meet and greet happening over at Animal Kingdom.
I was going to say when that opens, I could totally see that happening.
That would be very cool. Mickey's over here at Disney World. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party dates. September, completely sold out now. So it's only the 4th of September. All dates in September are sold out. The October dates, we have a few dates only sold out in October. And I will read those to you real quick because I have them on my Instagram. As I'm pulling up here at the Magic on $8. That is a self-promotion right there. So the party dates for the Halloween party are not even up on my phone. But there are several dates in October that are sold out. Go to PawnStarTravel.com.
Yes, the 31st is,
we know that. 31st of October
is sold out.
Yes, 31st October, it's sold out. And so is like the 10th, 11th, and 15th, something like that. You can go look. Also, the first date of the Christmas party, the November the 8th is sold out as well.
8th,
so that party is beginning to, and we'll start selling out more and more now that one day is sold out. They will begin to roll. Nothing on Jollywood has sold out just yet. But speaking of Jollywood, which we're all excited about, the Jazzy Holidays of the Brown Derby. It's reservations you can do at Jollywood there. That is going to be reservations are going to open up on September the 17th. So if anybody wants to eat the Brown Derby, we can. You guys went to the Brown Derby last year during this party, correct?
We did not.
No,
okay,
we did not, because we had to, with 4 hours, which I understand this year it's 5, but with the 4 hours, we had to prioritize, and we're like, we just didn't have time.
We wanted to make the most of our time and like sample everything throughout the night at that party.
Right. Yeah.
And the reviews ultimately weren't that great. So I hope it's better this year in the Brown Derby.
I think it had potential for sure.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it says you can sip craft cocktails and indulge in an event-exclusive menu of light bites while a pianist plays smooth holiday tunes at the Hollywood Brown Derby. The standard menu would not be available. So it does sound like it's finger foods. You can go in and get a table, probably not stay very long. I mean, you're not going to get a full meal there, is my guess. But it is available. Disney Hollywood Studios from November 9th through the 21st at Jollywood Nights, which is, of course, a separately ticketed event, which we went to last year and had a great time. So I'm really looking forward to that this year as well. So the Eat to the Beat party series, concert series at Food and Wine Festival is in full effect. The Finesse Party Band. I know nothing about this band. I've never heard of this band until approximately 35 minutes ago when I was making notes for this episode. My guess, and I don't have the original lineup, but I think there's some people that dropped out. So I guess the Finesse Party Band filled in because they were part of the 2 August acts were Finesse Party Band and The Fray. That was August. Sugar Ray, we just missed them. So if you wanted to see Sugar Ray, if you want to see Sugar Ray, you should have gotten up every morning and checked. Finesse Party Band is actually playing tonight and tomorrow night. But if you need a reason to go, Hoobastank will be there the 6th and the 7th.
Oh my gosh,
I for reason, right?
Right. And the Hooligans are playing the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Again, know nothing about the Hooligans. I don't know anything about them.
I don't know them.
That's this week, and we'll give you an update next week of who's playing. Of course, Heather will love the fact that Tiffany is coming very soon.
She saw Finesse, by the way. Heather was there.
Oh, did she?
The nights of Finesse, and she's like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Finesse Party Band.
Who were you there for, Jen?
I was somebody that I was like, I walked by and I'm like, I don't know who this is, but I can see that
maybe
that's what, well, there you go. You're right. That's who it was. That's because I couldn't even remember. And I was like, oh, look, in 2 days, it's going to be Sugar Ray. So like, and I was like, well, I missed them by 2 days. So, I mean,
all right. So when I say this, I want, if anybody from the Finesse Party Band happens to be listening to this episode, I want to make sure you understand, I am not janking on you being a part of the Finesse Party Band.
No, But
it is Orlando's premier wedding and event band. They are vibrant, exceptional. They're the go-to choice for weddings, corporate events, galas, and parties across Florida. So they have to be a fill-in band. I'm trying to look and see if I can.
But also, I'm gonna just say this. I mean, if Disney is hiring them, they gotta be good. Like,
yeah.
Probably like a great cover band.
Again, I the caveat, I was not insulting the Finesse Party Band. I don't know.
I think they were adding more local acts to the festivals lately anyway.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Like more Florida-based bands. I will say, just as a side note here, that I saw Colin Hay, and he was like one of the best ever. He was hilarious, and his wife was so energetic and like dancing around the stage with Tinkerbell magic wand. And it was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was so great.
Colin, wasn't he from the Police? Am I making that up?
Toto.
Didn't they sing Africa?
Yeah, Toto sang Africa.
But Colin Hay also did some of the soundtrack for one of me and Frank's favorite movies. It is
Goodfellas.
No, Zach Braff, not Elizabethtown. It's
Is it the one with Natalie Portman that I can't think of the name of now?
Yes, it is.
I haven't seen the movie, and I can't think of the name of the stupid movie now. I should be on top of this.
He did some of that soundtrack because him and Zach Braff are friends. And so
Oh,
he did some of those songs during the set, and it was great. So I just wanted to say that, like,
nice.
some of these that you're like, oh, who's this guy? Like, oh, it's just that person. Like, they put on fantastic shows, and it's
Right.
free as part of your admission.
Well, I will say, like, when I saw it was Berlin. There's not Berlin. It's the female singer.
Oh my God.
Right.
Take my breath away.
Yeah, and that's what she sang.
Kyla, Garden State.
Garden State.
That's the movie I was
Yes,
thinking of,
that's
yes.
it. Such a
Yeah.
great movie.
Yes.
You had to
So-
look that up right now, because then it was going to bother me and you.
Also, I just looked this up too. The Finesse Party Band did not replace anybody. Actually, they were just fill-ins. They were like, there were several days that there was no music going on between the fray and the hooligans or Hoobastank and Sugar Ray, so they just kind of filled in some extra spots. So yeah, so good for them. That's awesome.
Shoot,
They,
that's great.
they didn't take anybody's spot. They just filled in.
That's a
Also,
good score for them.
Colin Hay is Men at Work. I don't know why I said the
Oh,
police.
Men
Men
at
at
Work,
Work.
not
I knew it
Toto.
was the police. There's only 3
No.
guys in the police, and I'm like, he's not one of them.
No, I
No.
knew it wasn't the police.
No,
But I could
Frank
not
would've
name
gone
all
if
of
it was the
Toto.
police.
Like, I would be like,
no, I was like, maybe Toto.
I was like, Colin Hay is an 80s band, but who could it be now? I just couldn't think. So, all right. So finally, Jen,
got that.
okay. So 2 things. Jen, you're going to be happy about this. All Star Sports has a new mural. You go in the food court, you go in the lobby. It's a beautiful mural of sports all along the front of the lobby there. I've seen the pictures. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It's really well done. Put some nice decor, sports touches there. So I know you were excited about that, because I know your message was like, hey, remind me about the great touches now at All Star Sports. And that was your message.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
her next stay there.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's gonna add a lot there. Yeah.
Brady's
think,
going to be so excited, guys.
I think my chances of staying at All Star Sports are about as much as Jen's chances of staying at All Star
For the
Sports
first
in
weekend of
the first season.
October.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. I still have my room reserved, and I got to pay for it the next day or 2. And I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and pay the balance. And then when I find out I'm not going to be able to go, just move that money.
Right.
My March trip. The villain show. This kind of caught everybody by surprise. And first, we have to be sad because the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy is going to go away. I know Kyla called me in tears, was very upset, very angry that Disney made this decision.
No, I'm curious how many people even knew it existed.
I was about to say, I'm not even sure that, number 1, people know it's there. Number 2, people even know where it is. I was like, I know where the McQueen show, where is that? If you walk down to Rock and Roller Coaster, and instead of going to Rock and Roller Coaster, you just keep walking past it. It's the Sunset Showcase, which again, I didn't even know they had a name. It does, the Sunset Showcase.
They used to have the villains party in there.
No idea. I was never important enough to go to.
So they're like going back to their roots with this.
They used to have a villains party in Hollywood Studios. This was obviously pre-COVID, and it was huge. And back there is where they would have like Maleficent. And I've been in there one time for an event. It was
not Lightning McQueen.
It was no, I've never seen that whatsoever. So yeah.
Kyla, did you see the Lightning McQueen show?
I have once, yes, 4 years ago.
Well, to lead into this, it's October 7th is when this is closing down for good. Which I feel like this was always it was a really fancy fill-in. It's not something you fill in for 3 months. It's something you last for a little while, but it's definitely to last forever, because while it's expensive looking, it's not. I mean, everything's replaceable. A villain show is coming, and according to Disney, the villains appearances will not only to the new land coming. This is going to be a mysterious reflective realm of the magic mirror. The show will feature appearances by dozens of the most infamous evildoers, with fiendish foes Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, and Maleficent, each breaking through the glass to take the stage in live production numbers. So it's a stage, and there's huge screen, kind of a wraparound screen. It doesn't go all the way around you, but it goes pretty far around you. And that's where the Lightning McQueen show was. And the McQueen show was actually, it wasn't bad for what it was. You had a talking McQueen on stage, and of course it was digital monitoring there on the mouth, but it was impressive. And of course you had all the action on the screens and stuff. So I can see some stuff they're going to do with this. This theater probably only at present time only holds like 200 people. So they're definitely gonna have to build that out, because this is going to be a massive popular show for people to go to. But I can see them expanding the theater out, but that's coming sometime summer 2025. So not that long, honestly, which will be cool. So when you go to Magic Kingdom to see the new nighttime show, you can go over and see the new villain show.
Exactly.
So that is our news. Let's talk a little bit of MultiPass. Well, before we get there, Jen, I do want to touch on this. You went on the celebrity cruise. You went on a celebrity cruise last week before your Disney trip.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about it. Give us like a couple of minutes on that, the celebrity, what the differences are, what you loved about it, why people should consider celebrity cruises.
Yeah, so I will say celebrity cruising, like you're typically going to think of as a slightly older demographic, right? Okay, so not to say that I did not see any kids. I saw some. Most of them were like maybe younger, like, you know, and there is like a small kids club. There is a smaller teens club.
These are the kids that the parents couldn't find anywhere for the kids to go, babysitting and nannies and things like that. So
I will say, I mean, but there's not like water slides and like, you know, crazy huge things on the deck, you know, like maybe obviously like a Disney ship, you know, but
or even a royal ship, obviously,
or a royal ship. Celebrity is the upper line of royal, so they consider it like, you know, kind of one step up. The food, I enjoyed the food. Now I was in aqua class, which is one of their fancier classes of ship. I mean, you know, bougie. Hey. And so I got to eat in that restaurant each evening, which gave me some additional dining options. But I will say, I thought the food was good. The entertainment was more along the lines of like magicians, comedians, more along that line versus like a full out Broadway show. Not to say that they never do that, but it's not, you know, as much maybe as some of the other ones. So beautiful ship. It felt very upscale. It felt very nice. The staff was wonderful. The service was great. So, you know, definitely something if you are, and the thing with the celebrity is they often have great ports of call. So if you are somebody who is looking for that and are okay with maybe a slightly quieter experience. I mean, listen, there was stuff going on all the time. You could go do bingo. It's not like you didn't have things to do. But it's just a little bit more of a chill vibe to me, versus, you know, like the go of some other cruise lines. So yeah, we had a great time.
It sounds like you're also talking about like princess cruises, which are also a very chill vibe.
I would
older
say
sets, kind of along, like if you're into the princess vibe, you might be into celebrity, kind of back and forth, sort of, kind of.
I would think that, like, I personally would call celebrity above princess.
Okay,
but vibe wise, you know, probably demographic a little bit more similar.
And they do go to Coco Cay, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, because
they do that. It's actually newer.
See posts on that. So
yes, that not the itinerary that I was on. But yes, that was some of the itineraries do go to Coco Cay.
Cool, very cool. So it'll be exciting when you send the team to a celebrity cruise. That's really. I'm sure that's coming up. The fam trip's coming up. Got that in the works.
Yeah. Sure. Cruise ships are sold out.
Let's talk about the single and multi-pass. This is what replaced Genie Plus for the again, for the people out there that are like, I'm still doing fast passes. Fast passes are gone. Genie Plus came in some years later after COVID, after the shutdown, after the darkest timeline, and everything reopened. They came out with Genie Plus, where you purchase. Originally, you would purchase it with your package, and then when you got there, you would reserve your rides.
Yeah.
Then they took that away, and you're like, you have to do it day of, which I think at the time Disney thought, well, this will be easier, and it turned out it was a little bit more of a headache for everybody, because
terrible.
So many times, whether I'm with my family or with the team, I am messaging either my lovely wife, or I'm messaging Jen and Kyla, or I'm messaging whoever at 6:45 in the morning going, are you going to get this? You get Tron and I'll take care of this. Okay. Are you going to, who's going after, is somebody going after this? We're all trying to figure it out like early in the morning, because none of us can think ahead to do this beforehand. And so it was just a mess.
So travel agents ever.
We're our own worst travel agents.
We're so on top of it for clients.
Honestly, for clients,
like,
we're fantastic. We give them documents and we tell them the know-hows and the papers. And I have like a 5 or 6 page handwritten, like hand created document that I send to clients about how to do Genie Plus, when to do it, strategies. And for myself, I'm like, oh, Jen, did somebody get Guardians? I thought Alexa was going to get it.
This is exactly how
Alexa,
it goes.
message her real quick. It's 6:50. What do we do? Well, are you getting Guardians 11?
Panic sets in.
Wait, hold on. No, but Jen Brady
so you're gonna get it for these 4 people, and you're gonna get it for these 4 people.
Right.
And wait, what time are we going for? Like.
So now it's set up where you do it 7 days beforehand if you're on property, up to 3 days beforehand off property, and you can get your passes, you can get your reservations, you can purchase the rides, everything ahead of time. You can still do it day of, and sometimes the strategy might work best that way. But I do want to ask both of you, and either one can go however you want to go here, but talk about, first of all, doing it ahead of time. Is it the same process as Genie where you go in the app and you select? Is there a different process? Was it hard? Was it easy? What do you guys have for that?
Go ahead, Jen, because you just went.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say I thought it was fairly straightforward and easy. I don't know, Kyla, if you had the same experience, but for me, it wasn't bad. You cannot go on before 7 a.m. I mean, you can go in a few days before. So I did, just out of curiosity, because I mean, why not? It was like 2 days before, and I was sitting having my morning coffee, and I'm like, okay, well, my window opens Friday. Let me just see what happens. So I went in to go see what it would, look like. And I could actually see pricing. So I could click on Friday and I could say, or click on my first date in the park, and say, oh, okay, well, it's going to be this much. If I want to buy Seven Dwarfs, it's this much. If I want to buy Tron, it's this much. So you could actually budget, which is nice for people who are like looking ahead. So you could see that a couple weeks out. And then that day I had to, I tried at 6:50, like 6:45, didn't work. Tried it at like, just to see like, well, could it ever open early? Nope. It was right at 7. And then, it was, okay, I want to buy single pass and I want to buy multi-pass and I want to buy it for this day. So you click the date, you click what you want to purchase. And then, you just kind of go through, and it gives you, based on like where you're dining and like what other plans you have in the app, it actually just kind of gives you a plan. Now you can modify it if you want to. And you can adjust, which I did a little bit, just to tweak, but it wasn't a bad first draft, honestly. Like if I had gone with it, there would have been no issues. So
I thought it looks very aesthetically pleasing as
well,
which I'm very much like, needs to look nice.
Well, I thought
I don't have a scheduled trip. I don't have a scheduled trip until December, October aside. But you can see everything through, I think September 27th. I'm looking at 21st right now. So your prices are right along with Genie Plus. Magic Kingdom is $27 per person per day for that one day. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is $11 per guest. Tron is $20. Epcot is $19. Guardians is $15. Hollywood Studios is $24 per guest. Rise of the Resistance is $22, and Animal Kingdom is $17, and Avatar Flight of Passage is $14.
These are all right in line with
these are all Genie Plus prices. So if you were thinking, oh my gosh, I hated paying that much for Genie Plus, here you are. If you're thinking Genie Plus wasn't terrible, I actually liked it, here you are. So it's kind of along the same pricing. Kyla, did you get some stuff in advance as well, or did you wait?
Well, first, we all know how much I despised Genie Plus. Yes. I could not handle it at all. Every vacation was ruined because mom got up at 6:55 and did Genie Plus for the day for everybody. And I just I hated it. Sorry, Disney. I got up at 7 a.m. a week before our trip. I picked out my 3 things. What I liked, and I'm pleasantly surprised that Disney's IT is figuring this out, is that the rides were in order.
Yes.
Yes.
They were like, and for everyone who's listening, the lands, most of the parks are set out in like the shape of a spoke, like a wheel
and spoke.
Right.
So, yes. So there's like different lands as you go around the spoke, and they actually give you your rides in order of the lands, which I was like, my mind was blown because I'm like, how did Disney IT actually figure this out? Because Disney IT. So I thought that was fantastic. I think it's easy to modify. I love that as soon as you scan in, you get another one, which is reminiscent of Max Pass out in Disneyland.
Or old FastPass.
Or the old FastPasses. Yes.
Because you can book up to 3 reservations ahead of time.
Yes.
And then, as you said, once you get into the park, you use one to get it. So you can really have 3 rotating.
Even 3 multi. And then 2 singles if you want to do 2 singles.
Right. So you could have up to 5 at any given time, really, which is amazing. I think it was the best for Magic Kingdom. I think I got 8. And I was telling David the other day, we had to leave the park by 6 because of the Halloween party that night. And I still got 8. So I would have been able to keep going on that had we not had to leave.
That's how many we got.
Yeah, right. And I think that's pretty good. And that's in addition to going on other rides, not by
Which like we did Country
Lightning
Bears. We went over to Tom Sawyer Island.
Yes.
Like, you know, like those don't need passes. They're just other attractions that you do.
Right. And this is what I explain to clients too, is that like, and because they're always like, what are we doing in between? I'm like, you're going on other rides. Like there's plenty of things to do, whether it's an attraction, a show, a character meet, that you're, you know, you're filling up your day. You're not just waiting around for your next, you know,
you're getting a snack. You're like getting
exactly. I did buy it for Hollywood as well. And I think we were back and forth that day. So I think it would have worked a little better if we had just like stayed and kept doing it. But I did use it for the Frozen show. I don't usually do it for shows, but I did like that feature. So for Hollywood, I think it's a little bit more worth it than like Epcot or Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So would you recommend it for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood? This is what I would with Genie. I always recommended it for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood. Very seldom recommended it for Epcot or Animal Kingdom unless there was specific, like, we want to make sure we do these 3 rides at Epcot no matter what. Okay, well, Genie's probably your best bet.
I mean, if you, for me at Epcot, I will say if you wanted, first of all, just buy Guardians. Like, just buy Guardians.
Yes. Yep. Give it up. Take out the wallet.
But for Epcot, if it's very, very important to you to ride Ratatouille and Frozen, you know, like, I would say you're going to want to rope drop one and get a Genie a Lightning multi.
I know.
Right.
Pass.
I want to throw a day in there. I want to say multi-day pass and single day pass every time. And there's no day in it. It's just multi-pass and single pass.
It's Disney, I implore you right now. This is my plea on bended knee. If I could get, wait, who sang that one? Was that? Which boy band was Boyz II Men?
Boyz II Men.
Yeah. Okay, on bended knee, I plead, can we just call it FastPass again? Yes. Because everybody still does.
Josh could come out and make a statement, like, hey guys, we keep naming things wrong. We're just going to call it FastPass too.
Like, the Disney community at large would rejoice,
cheering.
Just call it FastPass.
We're now 4 years removed from FastPasses, so you could just call it FastPass and not even say a 2 or 2.0 or new FastPass or
just call it FastPass,
whatever. Just FastPass.
Yeah. Lightning lanes. It's.
Still, I don't understand. Like,
don't get it.
The Lightning Lane. It's just like a dumb name. Like, what is it even like associated with? Like lightning. Like, I don't get it. It's not a magical name.
It's ka-chow.
It's not. It doesn't
make any sense to me. It's not magical.
Listen. Anyway, that's I digress.
MultiPass is where you get the three rides reservation. So Magic Kingdom, for example, and they're tiered. So I may be reading off the cuff here, but Magic Kingdom, you could get Peter Pan, Jungle Cruise, and Haunted Mansion.
Big Thunder.
Right?
No, I'm sorry. Are you talking about the tier 1 passes? I can tell you what the
I'm just in general, I'm just in general. So you get 3 passes for the attraction.
Yes.
Single pass is when you purchase or reserve that ride ahead of time.
That e-ticket ride.
The e-ticket ride for Tron.
Yes.
So now you can't get into the virtual queue for Tron at this time, 7 days out, right? You have to
that's still day of.
Virtual queue is still day of. So for example, Magic Kingdom, and again, I don't have the tiers in front of me because 3 of the parks, Epcot,
I can do some of them.
Hollywood have tiers. You pick 1 from this section and 2 from that section. You know, like it or not, that's the way it is. Animal Kingdom,
don't like the tiers.
Go for it.
I don't like the tiers.
I get the tiers though, because all the big rides would be taken immediately.
I get it.
And nobody would be on.
I don't like it.
And then nobody would be on Aladdin's Magic Carpet.
But I will say,
Marcy's heart.
I disagree with some of the tiers, but that's okay. I disagree with where some things are categorized.
So at 7 days out, 7 a.m. local or 7 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're where I am at 6 a.m., if you're in California, it's 4 a.m. And so you get online, get on the app, get online, whatever, and you reserve your 3 attractions for each day. You go to this day, do it, that day, do it, that day, do it, purchase the time you want.
And you can do it in any order.
Yeah, in any order you want. It opens up for your trip. So, Tron, I want to get 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll get that real quick. If it's available, you pay for it. You're done. You get to the park for your Magic Kingdom day. Guess what? We've got Peter Pan at 9. We've got Jungle Cruise at 11:30. We've got Big Thunder at 12:30. And we've got
lies.
No lies, because those are all tier 1.
9.
Those are all tier 1.
Again, just I don't have the tiers in my head, so I'm just
we just attack him at the same time.
Let me say that again.
You actually won't have that.
You have Peter Pan at 9. You've got Haunted Mansion at 10:30, and you've got Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor at 12, and then Tron at 1. That might be a lineup for you. You go do Peter Pan, you look on there, say, oh, guess what's available? Oh, let's go do Big Thunder.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, at that point,
at that point, it doesn't matter because you're there.
Correct.
So there's no tiers.
Yep. So there's that. So is that a pretty clear picture of how basically you're getting it in advance? So you get there. You can still purchase these day of. Did either one of you purchase anything day of in terms of your passes and stuff?
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say on our Animal Kingdom day, which was unexpected because we weren't supposed to be there that day. And ultimately we were, I did not buy it because I don't feel like it's a great purchase for Animal Kingdom day. Like get there early for Safari and buy Flight of Passage. Do single rider for Everest. There's your day. Right. So that day though, I did check and I could have bought like when we got there, I don't know, maybe like 9:30. I did not really do what I write, not what I do. So it was like 10 and I was like, should I buy it? We're only here for like 3 more hours. And I could go on and see what was available, day of. I'm in the park. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I could see what was available at what times and the pricing. I felt like for the amount of time that we were there, some of the rides were like, well, I'll say most of them were too far after 1 o'clock when we had to leave. So it wasn't a great purchase for me. But I liked the fact that you could still see that stuff day of.
Yeah. Right.
And make that game time decision.
When Campbell and I went in June, we slept in pretty much every day. We didn't rope up any day. His decision. He wanted to sleep. And so the first day there, we didn't get to Animal Kingdom until maybe 10 a.m., a little after. And Flight of Passage was available for purchase. This was Genie, of course, but it was available for purchase. So we purchased it as I was heading there. I'm like, I don't want to have to wait for this. It's a 3-hour attraction. I just want to be able to do it. The unfortunate thing for those spending lots of money on their Disney trip is to really fully get the benefits of doing some of these rides quicker. You're going to have to pay a little extra. Guardians is a great example. You can get the virtual queue. I think at this point, you're pretty safe to get the virtual queue if you're right on time. Some exceptions, some days,
especially at 1 p.m.
But for the most part, right on time. Get in there. The virtual queue line is the actual will be the standby line. So you may still have to wait an hour to get on the ride because you're in that line with everybody else doing virtual queue. You pay the extra money, pay the $15 per person, and for a family of 5 or 6, that's $100. I get it, but if you want to spend that extra, you go through a much faster line. You can kind of choose your time versus doing a boarding group, which can be a hassle. So there is some of that. There is, and I hate that
flexibility
set up
allows you to be flexible.
But be flexible, exactly. And so, and I know my tone sounds like just pay the money. Don't mean it that way, but you've got a trio of attractions like Tron and Guardians and Rise that if you pay for it, it's easier. It's easier. And I hate it. That's the way it is. I really wish that we had free FastPass and then you would just pay, they would charge $25 for Guardians and I would pay that in a heartbeat because I'm not paying anything for Genie or FastPass or MultiPass, single day, Lightning Lane, individual pass, whatever. But it's the way it is. And I hate it, but that's what it is. So, any thoughts on, okay, first of all, what did we like about it? We'll do pros and cons real quick before we close. Pros about the new system. Jen, what did you really like about this system?
I am going to just go back to the ease of use, and I wasn't having to worry about setting alarm. Okay, well, it's 2 hours after this, okay, I scanned my first one, which was Pirates. And I could immediately get another one. And it was like any tier, didn't matter. I saw Big Thunder, but it was later in the day than we had wanted to be there. So it was available. Keep in mind, some of the tier ones might be sold out, just depending. So if you can get an earlier time. But I really thought that it was easy. I liked aesthetically on the app. I could look and it's like, okay, it's time for you to schedule another one. It wasn't guessing like Genie Plus. So I was happy. I was happy with the system.
Kyla, pros, things you enjoyed about the system.
I agree. Boom, boom, boom. Like you get in a ride, tap it, make another
tap.
Tap, tap.
You make another selection, just super easy, aesthetically nice to look at. It gives you that notification, time to book a new one, like all the same things. It's just, it's so much easier. And I don't feel like I'm doing math in Disney when I shouldn't be.
Yes.
I'm not like staring at my phone all day, waiting for like 11:57 when I can book my next one. It's just like automatic.
And it takes into account, like I said, your dining. I like that
I
too.
think that's cool too. That's very good. All right, Jen, for you, I don't want to say cons, room for improvement. What are some things that maybe are like, Disney, if you're listening, maybe you could tweak this.
They could make
that,
some magical enhancements.
Some magical enhancements.
Or maybe just something about the system maybe can't be fixed, but you're like, just be aware that this may happen. And
yeah. I mean, I think my biggest thing is just with the tiers, I wish some things were tiered differently. If that makes sense. Like I don't love that Peter Pan is a tier 1. Like I get that it's a popular ride, but I also don't necessarily think it should be up there with Big Thunder. So I think that there are I think there could be some zhuzhing of the tiers. And aside from that, I just think if you employ the correct strategy, that's, the correct strategy for your family, and what's correct for yours might not be same for us. It's like, what can we get next? Because we just want to get as many rides as possible because we go a lot. So it's like, all right, well, if we don't get to this today, like whatever, if I don't get on Jungle Cruise because I'm not getting a pass for it, then whatever, I don't get on Jungle Cruise today, I'll get on it next time. It's not a big deal. But that's all. And it leaves room. So it's good.
Yeah, I don't like the tiers. I just think it should be a free for all. That being said, I understand why they have them. So the big rides are not, completely taken over. The other thing is that, so I don't do the virtual queues because I just prefer to purchase.
Yes.
But I don't understand why, like, you can purchase MultiPass 7 days ahead of time, but virtual queue is still 7 a.m. the day of. Like, I'm not putting an alarm on for that when I just booked everything 7 days ahead of time. That completely like negates the whole like pre-planning thing. So that I feel like could be changed. Virtual queue could be moved to 7 days ahead of time to just have all your planning of all your rides done.
I don't love virtual queue in general. I
get the concept of why they have it.
I do too.
I do feel like at some point, like it needs to be temporary Guardians, and maybe they feel like standby would just be way too long. I don't know, but it is one of those, if you've got the space for it, and they've got all that side yard there, by whatever, you just do it, and people can choose to be in line or not, and it's just it's either they pay for it or they don't, and it's and maybe
getting rid of it,
that becomes an Epcot tier 1 attraction that goes super fast. And it's just, one of those things. And I'll run through the tiers real quick. Magic Kingdom tier, pick one from this category: Big Thunder, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan, Space Mountain, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Which
that's tough.
Tiana has a virtual. Does it have a virtual queue at this point?
It does. Yes, it does. Okay. There's no. You cannot. Single pass it. No single pass.
Okay, gotcha.
It's shocking to me, but carry on.
The tiers, tier 2 attractions: Barnstormer, Buzz Lightyear, Dumbo, Haunted Mansion, Small World, Mad Tea Party, Aladdin, Pooh, PhilharMagic, Monsters, Pirates, Tomorrowland, and Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. And then you can purchase Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Tron. Epcot, real quick: Frozen, Remy, and Soarin'. Pick one of those. I probably would go with Remy, honestly.
Remy.
Tier 2 attractions, pick 2 of these: the Pixar Short Film Festival, Journey to Imagination with Figment, Living in the Land, Mission Space, Nemo and Friends, Spaceship Earth, and Turtle Talk. And you can purchase Guardians. Hollywood, their first tier is Mickey, Minnie, Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash. Pick 2 from Alien, Beauty and the Beast live on stage, Disney Junior Play and Dance, Frozen Sing Along, Indiana Jones, Muppet Vision, Star Tours, Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror, and Toy Story Mania. I'm surprised that both Tower of Terror and Toy Story Mania are in the bottom tier. It would not have shocked me to have one of those at the top. So I think,
but I think there are so many.
Magic Kingdom. Yeah,
agreed. But I think there are so many in tier 1. Like, I'm fine with those being down.
And then Rise of the Resistance is the one you can purchase. Just rope drop rides. You're fine. Animal Kingdom, Dinosaur, Everest, Feathered Friends in Flight. I know that goes crazy fast. Festival of the Lion King, Finding Nemo. Tough to be a bug. Not for long though, Jen. Kyla River Rapids, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and Navi River Journey. If you're writing all that down, don't, because it's online. You can find it. But anyway, those are your tiers. So
can we just say that I can't believe the Feathered Friends in Flight is still a thing?
Show.
I like it Flights of Wonder. I like it when it's Flights of Wonder, and
I liked it better with Flights of Wonder.
They incorporated Russell and Doug and Carl and whatever.
Sure. But
Flights of Wonder was a good show. It was fun. It was out of the sun.
I was picked to do the owl. The owl like flew at me. Like
I was picked to do the Condor. They had a Condor to fly.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I feel like there was I live in the woods in my little Snow White house, and I'm surrounded by all kinds of birds and hawks and owls and whatever else. I don't need to go to a show to see all the birds. I just can't. I can't. I feel like they need to completely overhaul that whole thing. That's for another show. I digress. Right. I'm
sorry. They challenged me to hold my phone up and take a picture of the bird. And they were like, when I say go, take a picture because the bird's going to be coming at you. And he said, go. And I snapped it. The bird was already past me. It was that fast. The picture was just of the audience. There was no bird. I was like, dude, that was insanely fast. So anyway, good times. Yeah. Any final thoughts on multi-single day pass, lightning lane, reservations, whatever, such and things?
Call it FastPass.
Yeah. FastPass. Just call it FastPass.
Correct. Just Disney. Call it FastPass.
We are all on the gram. Kyla, where can we find you on the Instagram?
I am at Disney Geek 27 on Instagram and Threads. And on Facebook, I'm at Kyla Melberg, travel agent at Upon a Star Travel and Concierge.
Now you have some changes coming up. Can we tease that? Just say
that's fine.
Stay tuned. Don't do nothing yet. No announcements. Just Kyla's got some big things in the works.
And enhancements coming. We won't say magic enhancements.
Kylical enhancements coming. So, Jen, where can we find you on the Great Wide Interwebs?
You can find me at Upon a Star, Jen.
Perfect. Find me at the Magic on $1, and find me on Facebook at Magic on $1 and Disney on $1, and of course find Upon a Star Travel in all the places and the threads and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the TikToks and the face spaces and all the good. Find it anywhere they are. We are there. We're there. I'm sure find us. Go there. Of course, the MSA podcast at gmail.com. That's our email address. And as always, go on to your favorite podcast provider, which for me it's iTunes, but wherever Apple Podcasts, go on there and rate and star your podcast. That's the best way for podcasts to get found is go in there, write a little blurb about how much you love your podcast. 5 stars is always the best number of stars. Although if you do a 1 star, at least make it funny so we can read it on the air and make fun of you. That's
apparently we're not as funny as we think we are, but we are. So
that one so cracks me up. Your 1-star review.
It's some guy named like Willie or something like that. It's the best. It's our only one.
Like they're not as funny as they think. I mean, we are. But
I mean, like 60 people said that we are. Like one person said that we're not. So I'll go with that, whatever. But anyway, so thank you guys for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. For Kyla and for Jen, don't forget to multi-pass your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.